All right. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, the microphone was missing again. I took it and it's like, oh God, where is it? So I was crawling around on my floor. Yeah, fun, fun, fun. Anyway, all right. So, uh, here we go. Big move around the board. Yen. Seeing that continued in weakness out there. Seeing dollar yen up. And again, fresh that out there. Seeing 146, 238. Again, standard ATRs higher. German data this morning, not quite as good as expected. Now, euro pound down a little bit. I think it could have been much, much worse, right? I mean, again, it did show a little bit of a creep. It did creep in a positive direction, but not as good as kind of what they had expected. And as such, again, 7 pips, about a third of an ATR. Could have been much worse there. But besides that, everybody's waiting for. I mean, really, what we saw yesterday was again no more rate raises, which I think everybody understood. And then as far as the timeline, everybody's like, there was no real kind of guaranteed kind of push there. Anyway, the non-farm data and the unemployment claims both came in better than expected. Now, overall, again, remember people were talking about cutting interest rates because, again, the purpose is, again, to raise interest rates is to curb inflation. But again, the risk of that, the other side of the coin is, again, we kill the economy. Well, right now, non-farm, again, more people are getting hired than they expected, and unemployment claims are lower than they expected. So, again, where's the crush on the economy? We're not seeing it. So again, maybe we don't need to raise. I get it, but again, the calls for a March cut, again, I think are a little bit not thought out well, for lack of a better word, right? Not thought out well. Oops, hold on. There we go. All right, sorry, I was hitting the button, so it was all acting weird on me. So we'll see if this foreshadows into what tomorrow looks like. But again, the unemployment claims being a little bit lower, not bad. Tomorrow morning, obviously, we have our full non-farm number. Is expected to decline. I wonder if that's going to go, move more. The unemployment rate going higher. Now, this is one of those things that's interesting. You see the unemployment claims being lower than expected, but yet they're over here. They're expecting that the unemployment rate is going to climb. And this has been one that, again, we've seen, this kind of push back and forth. And last time it was expected to go to 3.9 and it didn't. It actually went down to 3.7 and they're expecting that comes up. Now, is there going to be an adjustment? Will it adjust tomorrow to 3.8 instead of a 3.7, right? We'll see. Wouldn't be surprised if they were a little bit overzealous in that one. So we'll see. But tomorrow morning at 8:30, a lot going on. Again, some CAD data out there. CAD also supposed to go a little bit higher, but the average earnings, average hourly earnings actually dropping a little bit. We'll see if that comes in as it does. And then obviously Barton speaking again tomorrow. So yeah, a lot going on. But as far as big movement, you're seeing again dollar CAD mute, Aussie dollar mute. Really, both these over here mute. Yen is really the only story on the board. Now, VIX is a little bit higher. Now, yesterday it kind of went up, came back down, and then kind of slammed up. It really kind of opened and closed at the same spot. And the overnight went up just a little bit, not as much as what we saw yesterday. The dollar talked about 102.50 yesterday, and look at it, 102.57. So, again, we knew there was levels here, and there was a little bit of a push down, and then it just really kind of came right back up to where we were yesterday. So, not really a ton of movement in the dollar out there. Indices, we have 3 of them in the red, 2 of them slightly in the red. I mean, they literally could pop back at any minute. And then the YM is holding on with a 0.18 positive on that one. So again, dollar up. I mean, dollar is basically just flat, 0.04, but you're seeing that 102.50 is being kind of the sticking point. Commodities, crude, right? We're under 73, but just barely, right? We talked yesterday about 73.07, I believe is what the area was. So we went just slightly higher than that. Now we're kind of reversed back lower. Natural gas up again. Excuse me. The natural gas bit of this is up 4.4%. Yeah. I think it's the kind of same surprise that I saw. Wait, what? We're getting snow? I'm not getting any snow. It's all going to pass above. They said that the models are not fully out yet. So, I mean, obviously it could change, but I doubt could change is going to be as much change as they expect. So we'll see. But again, natural gas is definitely much, much higher. Again, back up at 278. We were in the 250s. So, again, kind of poised higher. Gold 239 again, still way too high right now on silver. Down at that 2278 area. It is down a bit more. Not quite down 1%, but again, I think 2250 is really the kind of point where we're looking there. Aussie dollar continuing to deteriorate down right now. Yesterday we were sitting right here. We're basically where we were yesterday. Was it 9? 7. We're 7 different from where we were yesterday. And all it did was kind of surge back up again. This is easy if you wanted to run some fibs off the top and just say, okay, well, there was the last surge. You can see it kind of had a little hiccup at the 23.6, and it really went back up and grabbed this level. Unfortunately, if you were to look to see where the basing is, there's the basing. Unfortunately, it kind of missed. It did turn at the European session open, which sucks. It's kind of like, man, if that just went just a little bit more right there, that's kind of what you're looking at, right? It's close, but and all it did was push us back down to where we are. Now we are sitting at a 50. Obviously, there's been buyers there before. We saw that there was a lot of chop in there. This area of chop right here, I mean, it's been here a lot. Again, this was not a 50. This black line, it was obviously not a 50 when it was coming through, but you can see we hit it again. We hit it again. So, how many buyers are left? Probably not many, but I see this continuing to push lower. So, yeah. At this point, I think today, if the story is going to be just dollar strength, and again, the dollar strength on this one is, I mean, I think it's really, it's a weird situation, right? I mean, the market's like, yeah, they're going to start cutting in March, and the Fed's been very clear about July at a minimum, and I think people are finally starting to realize, well, maybe it won't be March, or maybe it won't be March. But who knows? Maybe tomorrow's data just absolutely blows it up, goes completely against the API number, and then we see this one surge higher. So maybe we do have a level a little bit lower, and it's the same level we talked about yesterday. I need to drop about another 40-something pips. It's got a 63 pip daily ATR, so it's almost a day's worth of movement now to go that much farther. Okay. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, really not much else. I'm not, the 23 has no interest in me. There's a little bit of a level up top, and maybe if we surge back higher, we look for something here, maybe in this level here, right? It's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think at this point, wait for it to go further. We still got the alert there. A break below 66.53 is the best thing we have on there. I'm not interested in any pullbacks today. And if we do pull back up to here, again, maybe we can pull the trigger in a short, depending on if it, if it goes with some bit of news. Also, yen continue to go higher. We were actually hoping that Aussie was going to come down and take it long, and it did a little bit of a hiccup. Yesterday we were sitting right in here. It pulled back up and kind of pushed back down, and then really late last night, it really took off. It's funny. Even the data on this one is talking about the Aussie versus the dollar, not even the yen. It's just you're seeing that continued yen weakness, and it's across the board. They're all big movers, so it's not really that the Aussie has changed much. I will say, with it being this high, we do have levels up top, up here around 97.50. I think if we can get up there, hey, that is working. There is a level where we could see a reversal, but is that the best area? No. It's been there before, but right now, again, with the hiccups in here, not interested in a lot. Again, we're really waiting for some type of word out of the BOJ, and we're just not getting it right now. So I think wait for this one to go a little bit further. This level is still fine down below. We're waiting for it to do whatever it does. Again, it will come back down again, but we need something from the BOJ. Maybe, maybe tomorrow, we get a little bit of help. Again, I think was it tonight? Hold on, was it tonight? The consumer confidence is supposed to go higher. Maybe we get a little bit of help. Maybe. Was there tonight? No, it's just the monetary stuff. I don't know. I was really hoping for some more, but this is what happens when you rely on the BOJ. You're really looking for a little bit more, right? And it's just not there. It's just not there. So I don't know. Looking for a reversal. Not quite there yet. I like the 95.65 more than anything else on this one. Look for the push. Euro dollar. All right, so euro dollar. Yesterday we pointed off an area, and we were really looking for this to continue to deteriorate down for news. And here's where the data came out. You can see really no response. It really just kind of flatlined. Everyone was like, "Give us something," and they gave them nothing. kind of flat, right? It just was like, wow, nothing, nothing at all. Really no response. And now it went back up. And again, about that 5:30 time frame, the European session started, pushed up, and is starting to kind of come back in. Again, dollar session coming in. I'm still right now looking for more of this level. I did not take this one short. We had it marked as being, hey, listen, if we could be there for news, decent short. It spent some time there. And again, it did push higher. It did not get stopped out. It did stay in. And it's rolling back from yesterday's level. And it's an okay level. I mean, again, confirmation. It didn't really explode out of it like we typically like. We like to see a bit more in there. It's fine. It's, again, let it. This one for me, I'm gonna let this one marinate and go a little bit lower. I don't really love, again, zero reaction, a little bit of a hiccup right beforehand, but nothing really, nothing earth shattering in that one. Again, I do think today is going to be more of a dollar strength based day because again, I think the market is realizing that, you know. What they thought was going to happen, and again, I think the market's always been overzealous. We're not going to cut him. We're not going to cut, and I think they got the benefit of the doubt of that one, not getting the additional raise at the end of the year. But as far as cutting in March, I mean, what out there? I mean, what's the reason? I mean, we're not back to 2, right? And even if we do go back down to 2, but the economy is strong, why give inflation a chance to really kind of go somewhere, right? If the economy is not being crushed, what justifies it, right? Maybe we take a little bit of heat off, but again, I don't think we're going back down to the rates that we were at before. So again, looking for this one to continue to go lower. Euro pound, right? So Euro pound right now, you can see again, the news came out and really it didn't affect much. Oops. Right there. You can see 430 is when it came out, and that's really where this little hiccup came in right here. A little bit of a push down, and then it kind of came back again. But it's really in the same area. From where the news was, it's only about 6 pips difference. We had mentioned this area here, and we hit it, we hit it again, and we're like, if it starts the base, look for it to short. And it did. It went short, and it did actually go all the way down. We had talked yesterday about 86.22 being the target, and there was a decent touch. There's where the touch would have happened. It kind of hit it and then came back down and hit again and came up, and you're like, yeah, it's hit it like 2 more times. It's not going to be anything valid. And it wasn't, It ended up getting spiked down with news and then immediately retraced back up again. It kind of actually almost went up to this Harry Potter where this base was, this base drop. It missed it by a little bit. And again, Euro pound. It's got, we're up to 39 pip ATR on the daily, right? But after all this in here, is that probably going to shrink up a little bit? Probably, right? Probably. And I think that 39 is there only because of this. That was 62 pips, which is like 2 days worth of movement, right? In 13 hours, right? So something like that is probably why this popped a little bit. But 36 is what you typically get for the day. In that one, again, a little bit inflated right now, but yeah, I mean, overall in this one, I do like the Euro pound short. I think that continues once all the news is kind of factored out of this one. I think this one will continue to push back down again. And obviously 2 big things out here, the year-over-year inflation, again, it's expected to rise, but we'll see. We'll see. I think those data are going to be disappointments. And those come in tomorrow morning at 5. They're marked on here. So we'll see. I do like this one short. I'm going to continue maintaining more of a bearish look on this one. Now, Euro yen. No surprise here. We mentioned this one yesterday. 1, 2, 3, and guess what? 4 hit at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon and drove down. It was a decent push down. It was about 70 pips? Yeah, 73 pips. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5 we expected to break. It peaked its head, and boom, exploded higher. Now, I am actually surprised. We'll remove this one now. We don't need it. I am surprised we did go through 158. And you can see, magically, I mean, we didn't, there's nothing really over there. What did it do? It came up and then it started the base. And it got stuck. Why? Because of the power of 158 with those double zeros. Again, such an important number. With that said, we are in an area of sellers. It's been here before. Will we get a reversal now with kind of a little bit of yen help? I really don't know. We don't really have any real big sellers until up top, and I'm wondering, again, this is a decent spot, but it has been hit and it formed a base right below it, so it's not necessarily the ideal shorting opportunity, right? Yeah, I mean, it's, how far is it? Yeah, see, it's only 37 pips. It's half of a 4-hour ATR, where there's an area of buyers in there. So I think if we can get the right confirmation coming up there, and again, it's so close. It's right there. Right? We're probably going to hit that 159. I think we're probably going to bounce off that 159 area. It's just with the buyer sitting right here at the 158 level, that's good. It's a decent, if it pulls back down again, it's going to find the buyers there and then shoot, right? So I think that's really kind of what we're looking for. Is probably, again, this is in the middle. I would say again, relying upon the BOJ is what we're looking for. So, we mentioned yesterday about trying to find that one, looking for a confirmation. And there's zero confirmation right now. This is still obviously in an uptrend. Zero confirmation on it, right? Zero confirmation. So, yeah, I think 159 is the next area to look for that reversal. Pound dollar. Now, pound dollar had a nice little swing here. 5:30 this morning is when this one turned back again. But we're 54 pips, so not a full ATR. It's got a 95 pip daily ATR. Kind of turned at a weird spot. I mean, the European market took off here, and then all of a sudden the 5:30 reversal came back in, and we're right where we opened the European session. You can see it's 3 o'clock. There is the European session open, and that's basically where we're at right now. So Europeans are not really taking it in any direction. It came down. You may say, "Well, look at it's popping here." Yeah, you're right. There's buyers here, right? Boom, 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 and they took off. Yeah, there's buyers there, but is that a great level? Not really. If anything, I would say I'm pretty happy with the way that this one worked yesterday. We mentioned there being a Harry Potter here, and it's like, yeah, ate some orders, and then it came down, and then it just started to churn through, and see how these went lower, and then finally, like 10:30, 11 o'clock is when it finally left. I like that level even more now because it's eaten more of those sellers out of there. Alert's still live, but a drop below 126.08. This is another one of those kind of like watch list trades for me. Especially with all the movement we had yesterday. I mean, it didn't explode out of there, but it just grinded. So it's eating all those orders out. Like that one for short. Again, the alert set on that one, waiting for it. The turn here, again, a little bit of a weird turn, but it was just literally like, hey, let's pop up and then pop right back down again, and we're kind of sitting there now. So it's really more sideways. If anything, I would say that these are the two levels we're looking for, there and there. This one is more of a short-based trade right there. And again, 127.58. It's been here a few times. If we can line that up with something like news over here with non-farm, we would need to see about 77 pips worth of movement. It's got a 95 pip daily ATR, so it absolutely can go that far up again. But we're kind of sitting in the middle range, like 20% right now, kind of skirting right down the middle. With non-farm tomorrow, we tend to see a little bit slower movement. So if we can push up or we can push down. Yeah, we'll see either direction. All right. Ow, Kip. I know you were itching your ear, but sorry. What are you doing? Can you just sit here? Yeah, just sit here. You got a big diaper on too. Somebody slept late today. Yeah, I think wait either way. Pound yen, obviously going higher, right? Funny, we had a hiccup right here, and we had a hiccup right here, and we're at another level where we expect to see a hiccup. We had marked these. Now, this one didn't actually have a hiccup, which is funny because that had the best actual release off of it. Let's take these off back here. All right, let's take this off. Again, we were marking all these little hiccup marks. All right, it's funny. The 180, 150, right back down. And then this test, right back down. This test, right back down. We can pull them all off now. Let's get it clean. All right, so obviously some selling coming in here. It's been here before in the past. It's confirmed, but also a little bit of a front run. I would say that there's probably potential in that one. Kind of the same thing. Looks very much like the Aussie dollar. A little bit more of a push. There's an area where we could see some profit taking coming in. We are past the 78 on this last big drive down again, so I am going to remove this, and we are going to actually run in the other direction and see if anything lines up. And there's something little right there right now. I'm wondering if this is where, so right now, again, not how fibs are used, but if we bring our fib level up, kind of forecasting what would happen if we do come up and, again, break through this chunk here into this touch, right? All of a sudden the fib level, you can say, oh, well, look at this. There's basing at the 23 and there's also basing at the 50. So kind of looking for a potential profit taking opportunity coming in at 184.22. Could that be lined up with the consumer confidence? Yeah, it could be. Maybe it's much better than expected and we see a turn and roll, right? But again, at this point, we're so far extended. Really since since January trading, since the second right here, right? It's second on the low. We're up 498 pips, right? 498 pips in 2 days, basically. It's got a 189 ATR, so it's done more than it should have done 2 days in a row. We're kind of getting back to that extended range area, so we should be looking for reversals. Now, is there any red, green, reds in here? There's a little red, green, red here, but it wasn't really clean, right? And then it came up and started the base in there. Besides that, that's the only, I mean, again, right in the middle. Big push. We're still in an uptrend, following those green, red, greens to the top side. So again, look for a turn, look for a reversal. But I think 184, it's very similar. Aussie yen, euro yen, pound yen, all kind of like pushing up, and they got to go just another like 30 something pips before they run into zones. You guys know how it is when you tend to get 3 or 4 of those. Those tend to be half decent. Okay. All right, dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, we were looking for the 133.05. It made it down, and then it just, the Europeans took it from us. We were looking for a long, right? We were looking for a long for today's data. It actually ended up grabbing this, and again, this is one of those things, right? Technically, there's the 23. There was technically basing there, right? And again, yesterday we were sitting right here, so we didn't have the luxury of knowing where the top was. That's what it grabbed. Is that the stellar? Here, I'll pull this back just so you can see a little bit more. Here, we'll run it that way. Is this the definition of beautiful 23.6 level? No. It may have actually stopped it out. It may have peaked its head just a little bit through the other side. Yeah, it looks like it peaked just a little bit on the other side. So not the ideal place you want to take a 23. It's there. Yesterday we were sitting here, so it was kind of a little bit shallow on that one. As of right now, I don't know. I still think we leave this on here. I kind of want this to push all the way up into this level. I think this would be a better place. So yeah, unfortunately, I was looking for 133.05 and it made it down to 133.17. It didn't quite go where I needed to go, but I was looking for the long, and the long came in. Unfortunately, it came in a little bit higher than what I expected. So, yeah. Here I pushed above that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, see this. Unfortunately, this whole bit of drama right here, it's right at the 134, but we're not going to be able to draw a clean zone off of it. Actually, I'll mark this off. This is actually a decent zone here. Right, that's a decent zone there. Kind of tested. It's a little bit above, so we'll see. Maybe we can get a surge. Maybe we can get a surge up and a reversal. You can see tomorrow. There's all kinds of stuff. 8:30 tomorrow is a big one for this pair. Again, of anything, if you're looking to trade CAD news, trade it with CAD yen. Don't trade it with dollar CAD because you're going to have influence from 2 different things in here. So, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, I think 134. I'm just not interested. I think 133. I mean, this is, if I'm going to bracket this one off, I'm going to say there, and then kind of my top and bottom. We're floating right in the middle right now. All right. Dollar Swiss. There's our trade from yesterday. Right, there's your 930. It looks like it finally got out at 3 o'clock yesterday. So again, 13 for 41. Okay, easy trade. And again, that was right at 9:30 yesterday. We talked about just hitting it again, and we refined it. And it's funny, it actually slowed down, but again, not a great area. Would not have been interested in plays on that one. Right now, the way this one is looking, it looks like it wants to turn and roll. The way the tops are going in there, but again, there's an entire area here of sellers, right in there. So it could turn anywhere in that area, and again, it's a decent hit, right? One there. I would say right now, let's see. was trying to see if there's a Harry Potter to the downside, but it doesn't look like it. If these line up, let me see. That one's not horrible. There's one at the 50. So there's a base sitting right here, right? Requires 55 pips of movement. Could it be a potential news trade? Could. Um, says a daily ATR of 75 pips, actually 75.0001. Could have just given us a 75 and rounded it. But maybe for news. I would say that's the best thing on this one right now. Maybe for news. Maybe for news. But besides that, no. Not really interested in much else. Right. Just too much sideways chop. And again, you guys know how this one rose. Pretty nice little setup. Easy gone, and now everything looks like junk again until we get close to another one. So yeah. Sorry, but I'm more on that one. Dollar yen looks just like everything else. Yesterday we were looking for a pullback. Pullback came down, right? We were sitting 1030 was here. We did get the push back down again. We were looking for a short if we were able to get up there. I'll move this thing. You can see how close we actually got. 12 pips. Missed it by 12 pips. It did pull back, and again, we missed our long entry on that one as well. It didn't go quite as far as we needed to. There was all this drama here at 10 o'clock. It kind of spiked up and down, and the buyers put in. Now we're at 145, so again, this one, it did hit, and as you can see, it hit here and rolled back down again. It was a nice little mover. We're at the 78, so we can clear a lot of this. We can clear this. Let's run in the other direction. Down, and we're at 145. Whoops, actually, you know what? Just take this and run this one up. Not bad. All right, so look at that. The 50 magically just happens to be in a zone we drew yesterday. All right, so unlike the Aussie yen, Euro yen, pound yen, this is already at the 145. It's at its big area. Now, 145 is going to be a big psychological level, obviously. It made it up to 144.84 or 144.85. Got pretty close. Now, the issue with this one is we're going to be at a reversal level right now. Not only were we 145, we're at 1030, and we've seen a monstrous push up again. Running this one from January 2nd up, we're at 390 pips. It's got a 140 daily ATR. So again, we're doing more than we should. We are beyond extended, and the 145 is a big psychological level. So I think that this one of all the yen kind of secondary pairs, this one is the one that is set up most for a reversal. We do have the red. We still need the other two components. We need the green that doesn't go above the red, and we need the red, but I think this one pushes back down again. Overall, I'd be looking for profit targets probably around there. I'm wondering if this is going to give us a little bit of a hiccup. How much is it going to move? 38. We'll see where the confirmation comes in at. If the confirmation comes in up top, again, may be there, but the 145 should be big enough. Should be more, like when I say big, should be powerful enough to beat the buyers down here. Because again, this was 5:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock. So nothing, no major players really in the market there. And again, with the Aussie yen, Euro yen, pound yen, all being at levels where we should see some profit taking for the yen come in. Again, being at the 145, this may be leading the pack of all three. So we'll see. Again, with all the news coming tomorrow, this one will probably have a little bit more action. Let's go to crude. All right, so crude. So yesterday we said, hey, look, we were sitting right here and we said, hey, I hate to say this, but it's going to 73. And it did. It came all the way up to 73. Actually peaked its head a little bit above, playing with this level here, and pulled back, but we're sitting at 73.03. We said 73.07 was kind of where we expected it to be. It took till 4:30 yesterday to hit, and we're in that level now. So I did see an article yesterday talking about how all this cheap gas is getting ready to go away because of seasonal activity. Yeah. I think if anything right now, this one has probably this is our best opportunity. Right now, we do have oil inventory today. Again, with the holiday, it tends not to be as impactful when it's not on its standard day, but your 1 to 3 is sitting right there, which you can see is a little bit deep, right? That's where we tend to want profit. And all that would do is take it back down to 70.86, so like a $2 drop. I mean, I, I still think, again, we have not seen any type of geopolitical risk in this one. I think, if anything, right now, I mean, we still haven't had that, which is awesome. I'm glad that we don't have that major problem. Yeah, again, going long, there's nothing up here that I'm really in love with. Let's see. Is there anything? Yeah, I mean, the problem is it's drop, step, test, drop, test, test, boom, base, drop, test. And now we're tested up into this level here. Actually, this level, right? We're testing this level right now. 74. Oh, 9 o'clock yesterday. I like this push. Yeah, I like this push. Yeah, I think that's probably the best we got on this one. They break below 72.15, looking for a push all the way back down to 70.82 ish. So it's not bad. Natural gas, kind of gave me my pin this one. We're looking for natural gas to go back. We really don't have any type of confirmation in there. We have the red, the green, the red, and it didn't work. And then there's another green in there. So again, it invalidated as a reversal point. Again, this one, same thing. Red, green didn't go as high, but then red close above and green took it over. So still, I guess there was a red, green, red in here at 11:30 yesterday. But then it just kind of continued to chop back and forth. Didn't go as high, didn't go as low, didn't go as high, and then obviously started to kind of form that that flag pattern. Again, until we get the weather from this weekend, I don't see this one coming back down again. It does have a nice strong push from this morning at 9:30. If we get a green that comes back decently, there may be an opportunity to take this one short. But right now, this one again, it's here we can remove some of these. I didn't do this yesterday. Pull these, pull these, pull these. We were looking for a long from there. It pulled back. That was good. Again, these are all hiccuped off that. Let's see. It touched the 78, so I don't need that anymore. Kip, stop. Pull this off. Tag that. We'll leave that there. Let's run this from the bottom up. No. He thinks he's funny. He's hitting button stuff. Yeah, you're not funny. I'd say that this is probably the best level right there. I'm not a fan of that one. Say that right now that this is kind of like our top and bottom. So again, weekends with all the mentions of snow, obviously going to be a big deal. Again, like I said, was all hyped up when I saw it yesterday. I was like, oh, we're getting potential snow. And then I looked at the maps and I was like, I don't know why why are you feeding us that junk, right? Why are you feeding us that junk? Yeah, it wasn't as cool as what I thought it was going to be. So yeah. Yeah, again, bearish, but we need the confirmation to come in. And again, with a major, nor'easter coming in, until we actually see the snow start to drop, this one is going to be a little more difficult, especially, and you may say, well, why is natural gas spiking so much? It's only one part of the country. The reason why is Pennsylvania is supposed to get absolutely blasted. Again, weather models change all the time. Pennsylvania is supposed to get it. And again, if you look to see where kind of the heart of our natural gas industry is, it's Pennsylvania. So that tends to be, it's like if suddenly there's a nuclear explosion in Saudi Arabia, even though it's a small fraction of the world's oil, it would send the oil market insane. Pennsylvania is kind of Pennsylvania is the equivalent for some reason. Yeah, yeah. Gold. All right, so gold bouncing back and forth. You can see yesterday for the FOMC, it did raise back up again, and it missed a little bit of a level up top. I wouldn't say that this was like an amazing move, but if you took the last swing there, you can see it did go above. There was a little level right here. It actually missed that level. I was actually looking for it to pull back to that. It didn't. So we're kind of in the same area. We're a little bit higher. We're at I think it's way too high right now. We were looking for shorts down low, and again, it's starting to pull away. It did actually drive down and then kind of hold yesterday, and we talked about yesterday, like dollar weakness is the technical play that we saw, and at least in gold, it worked. It came down and it based, and when the news came out, it gave us a long opportunity. It unfortunately missed a short and pull down, so it's not much different from where we are with FOMC. I think the market is really confused about this cutting rates and interest rate and everything else. So. My belief is right now gold is out of whack. I think gold should be closer to 2000. I think we should be playing with the 2000 mark, not the 243 mark. I feel like all the speculation now is in gold because at the same time, silver's below 23 and silver's where it should be. We had an alert on this one. We talked about a break below, and it did. Came over here and it's like, it went in and came right back up again. And then over here, it started the base. So you could have been in a short trade for this one below 23. I think silver is actually where it should be. I think this, again, seeing a little dollar weakness, 22.88 is fine. I still think that the ideal spot for this one right now is right around, where is it? Right here, right? 22.50-ish, right? So fine spot. It's fine. Again, if we get closer to 23, I think we go short. Right now, obviously, there's a bit of confusion. Gold is up 0.16, but silver is down 0.46. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised at 10:30 if gold starts to roll in the negative as well, and both of them turn red. Silver's trying to get back and kind of get where it's supposed to be, but that would put silver up here, 23.40. I think that's way too high. I don't think it has any business even being remotely that high. Okay. Now, looking at the indices for today, VIX, again, pretty high up there. Dollar, again, reversing back at 9:30. Again, there was that surge in the morning. Let's see. Now it's the opposite. They were all red slightly. Take this to the 15. Yeah, and look at this. 9 is green, 9:15 is red, and then we immediately reversed back up again and held. So as far as any overnight levels, there's nothing below because we're breaking new lows. If anything, it was an overnight trap. You can say right there. There is the Globex lows, and you can see at 9:15, what did they do? It broke through. Again, a very quote, and again, this is not me saying this, but this is a quote, that's a bearish signal when we break through the Globex lows. And when people sold it here, when it broke through the Globex lows, guess what happened? The price drove higher. Okay, so again, easy bear trap on this one. As far as topside selling, no real confirmed levels in the overnight until we get all the way up top. Really kind of up in this level at 47.71. So besides playing the contrarian trap play, not much in there. NQ, let's see what we got there. NQ was kind of the same thing. There wasn't anything super close on this one. 9:15, 9:30, and it didn't move till 10 o'clock until the news came out, really. We're at a level right now. If this one turns and reverses, NQ is the weakness, is the weakest of levels. Again, there's a basing right there. So if we are going to have a 10:30 reversal, this is kind of set up where the entry would be. Let's take this one short. Again, yesterday's trade, we had marked that one off where we missed it and by just a smidge. Right. So it looks like, it looks like from where the peak is, let's see, what do we got? Nothing lining up right now. So that's what we're going on. NQ kind of ugly, but we are at a level right now if you're looking for something. YM, YM took off. YM is actually, look at that. Let's see. Hold on, let me adjust. Let's adjust this side. See, I did it on purpose. There's the top of the body where the confirmation comes in. Right there's the base, there's the top. Let's see, it did hit. Look at that, it did. I don't know if you guys can see it on your screen. Sometimes the pixels are off there. I think you guys can see it there. Sometimes it makes it small, you can't see it. It did hit. So again, YM also in an area right now that we were hitting. So, we saw it in NQ, YM also the same. As far as opening print goes, 9 is up, down. Is there confirmed the overnight level? Not really anything clean. Look, down, 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 down. Not interested. It did spike down to kind of get people, but not the same trap that we had as ES. But we are definitely in a reversal level right now, and you can see it was a confirmed level in the past. No other confirmed levels in here. Nothing here. This is the only clean one, and that's where it looks like it's turning from. What we got here? 9. It's not really the overnight. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, hey, listen, we're breaking through. There's the 8:30. There's the 9. Once we hit that 9 o'clock, it's like, oh, it's low, and then it's just pushing up. So I would say Russell is kind of I don't want to say the ugliest because it's not. NQ is the ugliest, but here, take this. Just here. Yeah, not really a trap, but same thing. I mean, there's all this drama going on right here with sellers. So it's up 0.28. It's kind of in the middle of the pack, right? Not as good as YM. Barely better than ES and not as bad as NQ. But if everything starts to reverse at 10:30, and it's funny. You may say, well, why would anything reverse? All the data today was great. You're right. All the data today was great, right? More people are working, right? More people are getting hired. Less people are getting laid off. All these things are great, right? But at the same time, you're like, wait a second. It's, that should be good. It is, but it doesn't help it doesn't help the interest rate cutting because, again, bad is good, good is bad, right? All the confusion. So, yeah, that's what it is. So indices not super exciting this morning. Couple traps, couple reversal setups in there. It's all right. All right. So that's it for today. Let's go ahead and do the drawing. Again, we kind of flew through things, but again, a lot of this stuff is pretty flat. I mean, 6, 4, 12. Again, 2 yens, and again, this one is starting to reverse already early. We just mentioned that. Again, a little dollar strength in both these guys, but again, 24 this one, 11. Again, the big movers, the yen, and again, we see those reversals starting to kind of start to tick in. Again, dollar yen I think would be the first one. You can see the last hour we've really started to turn and roll. So, yeah, is what it is. All right, now tomorrow, obviously tomorrow is a big day. You're just preparing for it. Non-farm is considered the biggest event. Obviously, interest rate changes can change things the most. They're fundamental changes in the market. Non-farm is considered the biggest economic news release. Always weird starting off the year, and the data actually looks pretty decent. Again, things are supposed to get bad, but I don't know. Will there be the adjustment? Last time the 3.8 wouldn't actually be surprised with that one at all. I think the 3.7 was a little bit crazy, but is 3.8 bad? Is this the economy crashing? I mean, maybe it doesn't. Maybe the adjustment is 3.8 and it comes in as 3.8. The market's already factored that in. Average hourly earnings, we'll see, and non-farm change, we'll see what it is. Maybe non-farm comes in higher. Maybe it comes in at 2,000 also, or 200,000 also. So, yeah, we'll see what that looks like. Again, economy is not crashing. The ship is not sinking. That kind of goes against what the interest rate cuts are looking for. So yeah, look at this. 0, -1. It's totally flattening out. All right, let's go ahead and do the drawing. All right, here we go. I will give this one. We'll give it 30 seconds. The 2:30 number seems to be the good one because I know there is a delay. 30 seconds should be enough for you guys. Although I think some people have a little bit longer than a delay than that. I can't mention any names, but I think some people do based off of when they talk. All right. Let's see, 20 seconds to go. It's funny. I have rain and high winds today. It's a shame that I could have had 2 feet of snow. Could have had it. I was looking for it. I'd accept it. I don't know if you guys saw on Discord. It's been, and again, it's obviously Annapolis is not in there, but they use Baltimore because Baltimore is just north of us or whatever. 703 days since we've had more than 1 inch of snow. Right? 703 days. I'm like, you should make up for us. Give us that 2 feet of snow. Give it to me. Just as long as I have power, right? Power and internet and 2 feet of snow, I'm good. I don't have to leave my house. It'd be awesome. All right, here we go. Winner day's drawing is Ernest. Ernest did say he's not going to lose in 24. So, I mean, I feel like, he took it yesterday. I feel like, where is he at? He's all the way down here. But he does get us 100. Because that is 2 days in a row. I feel like, he called a shot and he's living up to it so far. 2 for 2 in 24. So, all right, with that, I'll be back on tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Obviously, a big day. Make sure you're prepared for it ahead of time. If you were in winning positions, again, there's nothing wrong with closing it out a little bit early. So, yeah, it's what it is. All right, I'll catch you everyone. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.